Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't posted anything recently. I was out riding around on my hog. But I got a nice little topic here, so here we go. So as many have noticed, Iceborne really jumps up the difficulty and introduces some new mechanics like clutch claw and softening to mixed reaction, but you can use these mechanics to create a cyclical battle plan that allows you to take out any monster with any weapon class. So here we go, how to get good at Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Alright guys, we're in the Guiding Lands, and the first thing you want to do before you start any mission is to take your Mega Armor Skin and your Mega Demon Drug. Um, those effects are pretty much permanent. They wear off if you faint, but if you don't faint, you have those for the rest of your fighting. I'm just grinding Namiel in the Coral region in the Guiding Lands. I'm just trying to get to Master Rank 999, and I like that fight because it's quick. It stays in a small coral area, a little bit to the forest, but you don't have to chase down the monster everywhere. Before you start fighting too, if you don't have this menu down here on the bottom right, make sure you have that customized to something you want. You can specifically make it in any order you want. I like to keep my square on something handy like Mega Potion and keep something handy just to the left and right. And also just remember, if you hold L1, you have your 4 radial wheels where you can use your D-pad to go up, down, left, right, and you can put anything under the sun. You can put your mantles, sharpening, potions. I even got my Street Fighter emotes on there. By the way, thank you Capcom for adding this because this is so beautiful. Thank you. Really, that's about it. I'm gonna go find some endemic life and level my longsword up to level 3. I just like doing that before a fight. You guys don't have to, and I'm going to skip ahead to the video to that moment, and here we go. I'll go over this pre-fight buff routine a little later when we do it in the middle of the fight. But first I want to point out that you always want to do an aerial hit off your mount as your first encounter. You're already building up the hits you need to mount the monster. Don't do the R2 version, you get too many hits. After that, you put on your evasion mantle and you immediately soften their head and go for a flint shot into the nearest wall. Your evasion mantle will prevent them from too many knockoffs, so you can pretty much get this done for sure. Now he's down and you want to go and immediately get head damage. That's going to start building up the damage you need to occur to get those knockdowns. And now I noticed that he did not get enraged, so I'm just going to do it again. I still have, well, the evasion mantle just wore off, but as long as he is not enraged, I'm constantly going to go for the flint shot. And you can always tell when he's enraged by the eyes, of course, but if you're running agitator, it just constantly tells you if it's active or not. Bam, he's back up. Got my weapon charged. Let's go for the big attack. Whiffed it. But got plenty of time. Good solid damage, mostly to the head. All to the head. And draw right there. Now he's enraged. So now what I want to do is immediately go for that mount. And boom. You get it. Now mounting at this stage is awesome because he's enraged. So he's starting to wear down that timer of how much time he's going to be enraged. And you're just going to get him back on the ground and get tons of massive damage to their face again. Break it down, and here we go. That's another reason I like Frostfang Helm for the punishing draw, because all those attacks that come out before you have your weapon out, those count as cheats attacks. And boom, look, I got my first head knocked down from just keeping them down on the ground and always doing headshots. And there'll be a few more of those coming. Get some head damage. And now you just play a little bit because you're going to kind of wait till he gets back to normal state so you can flint shot him again. He is enraged, so you don't want to do things that are going to, be multiple hits and take up a lot of time in their animation. But this is when you use your iframe moves. And missed it there, but still got some damage on him. know your iframe moves, know what moves gives you those invincible frames that you can power through attacks or evade things, and then of course your roll. Your roll will always have some iframes, so when in doubt, just try to roll away. So I just got a little bit of distance, healed up a little bit. I was gonna slide and try to get another aerial hit, because now I'm just kind of building up for the next time he gets enraged. This one's about to wear off, and so I noticed that his head sharpening has wore off. He went for a move that has a lot of time in its animation, so I went for the soften again. Took some damage, but it was worth it to get the soften. See, those are the iframe moves, the foresight slash, and you know, you're not going to always get it, and I'm not playing perfectly here. I'm not a, you know, ultra instinct godlike Monster Hunter player, but with the right setup and knowing what to do, you're just constantly the aggressor. You're never backing down. You're never just running away. See, his agitator, the agitator notification went off, let me know that he was not in rage anymore, so I immediately went for the flint shot. And usually, especially on the second round of this, they automatically get enraged, but he doesn't this time. So it's like, alright, let's do it again. Just rinse and repeat. If they are not enraged, you are constantly flint shotting them. And, you know, you can use your evasion mantle, or you can just space it, time it out until, see, boom, they do those attacks that have huge animations. Use those to get them. And I'm always, every time they're knocked down, I'm always going for the head. I know I'm a longsword user. I don't care about the tails. I'm not collecting anything anymore. I'm just working for the next knockout. And between mounts and flint shots and the head knockouts and the limb knockouts, the monster is constantly falling down, constantly giving you opportunity to do free and massive damage. Well, I guess you're creating those opportunities, and you're just using the game mechanics for what they are. And this is where the meta really comes in helpful. When you play like this, you're not too concerned about defense. You don't need Divine Blessing. It's great to have when you're you know, even pretty good at this game. It gives you that survivability, but once you kind of outgrow it, you start using your iframes to do all the damage, like I've been doing in the last few back and forths while he's enraged. And so with your health regen and your weapon, you don't have to worry about carding at all. And it is a matter of getting good, but it's also a matter of knowing what you're trying to accomplish in each phase of the fight, you know. Here in a second he's going to fly off, and I'll go over the buff routines. And once you have your evasion mantle, and let's say for example right now he's enraged and you can't flint shot him, just use him to either do iframe moves or get your helm splitter or biggest baddest attack off. If you fail, you're not going to take any damage. I have a nice little setup that actually lets me rotate between my mantles pretty much constantly. I'm going to make a video about that in a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm just fighting now. I'm not necessarily trying to accomplish anything. I'm just waiting for him to lose his rage, because I don't really want to do the mount right now. I'm just kind of building up some aerial hits. Actually, I think I was going for one there, but I kind of know this fight very well too, and I know he's about to try to escape. I want to go over that segment of the buffs. For the buffs, I like to use your demon powder and the pills. Sorry, not the pills, but the seeds. The seeds are better, in my opinion, than the pills because they last longer, 3 minutes versus 30 seconds, even though the other ones do more of an increase in your damage. I just rather have the length in time. So once you're done cycling through these things and he flies off, heal yourself up, sharpen, and then I like to use both of those. There's the sharpen, and it basically just buffs up my defense and offense for the next round. I get back on my mount because I want to mount him on this next encounter. So the aerial hit that you get off of your rider mount, I think it counts like at 1.5 or 2x multiplier on the hits that you need to mount a monster. So anytime you're coming off this thing, it just makes it much more likely. And then with the longsword users, R2 aerial attack, it swings 2 or 3 times, and every one of those swings counts as its own aerial hit. So it's almost a guaranteed mount in certain situations. So I know I've got enough aerial hits on him that a mount's coming very soon. He's not allowing me to, so I'm just being patient, just riding around. Boom. Nice. Now we're going to get him back on the ground and go for the headshots, and rinse and repeat again. And at this point, the monster's pretty much half or over half his HP is already gone. He's gotten weaker in a lot of ways because in Monster Hunter, when a monster is at 100% health, they're most dangerous, really, because they have all their abilities, all their attacks. They do max damage on a lot of things. Of course, the times that they get enraged when they're low health, they're very dangerous as well. But as you start damaging them, you actually weaken them. And see those headshots built up again. I believe this is the second or third knockdown from just doing that head stun damage. And the punishing draw really helps with that, and I just love it. I know a lot of people think it's, kind of pointless, but I love getting that extra damage. I love doing moves out of my draw, so it's A, really cool looking, B, it's kind of timing based, C, you use your iframe, so you can feel really cool when you land those and get those knockouts. Always have like a move in mind that you can get those head softened. So you can either do it when they're exhausted, just get in there and make sure they're softened. If you still need 2 hits to do it, you can always buffer one of the hits. Let's say their head softened, you can do 1 hit again, so the next time after it wears off, you just need to do 1 more soften. But that's if you're a light weapon using that doesn't use Shaver. But on all solo runs, I use Shaver. He's dead. He's going to go to sleep. Now, you want to pretty much get max damage out of this, too. So you want to plant your bombs along the wall because you're going to flint shot them on wake up. You can always do this. Just make sure you latch onto their head, and you can always, you can even steer them with a couple of hits, but I recommend just hitting them into the wall. A lot of people put the bombs on the head, but then he runs through the bombs and then hits the wall. And the way this game works is that first hit that they take on a wake up, it does double damage. So if you can make it happen like that, where the bombs and the head hit the wall at the same time, you're going to get double damage on all of the attacks, the bombs and the head hit. And a lot of times, especially if you have a full crew with 8 people and 8 bombs, 4 people and 8 bombs, that's death right there. But there's not much left of them. And that's about it. This is how you get good at the game. You just got to understand the mechanics and what to do when they're in different states. And this works on just about every monster. These are tempered elder dragons in the Guiding Lands. Pretty much the hardest you can get other than siege monsters like Fatalis and Eltreon and all those guys. And those all just have different mechanics. They're fights built around a certain thing that they want you to accomplish per stage. You just got to know it and do it. And some people are really stubborn and they just want to fight their own way, which is cool, but that's not the challenge that these things are presenting. That's what base game and that's what the end game grind is for. Really, that's about it. If you like what you saw, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, any questions you have, any content you are looking forward to or wish to see, just let me know. Thank you very much, and this is how you get good.